So between episodes, I made the critical error of doing exactly what I said I was going to do and going back to check my LP of the 2016 remake for Ratchet & Clank and seeing how the cutscenes compare, and... well, yeah, so turns out it was much worse than I thought. Because while I did remember the dinosaur thing where they're standing here fixing the ship, and then the Quark's like, they had to face a giant man-eating T-Rex, and the guys in the cell was like, what? That's not what happened, or whatever bullshit. But also in the cutscene with the plumber guy up there, which is neat that you can actually see the room we were in from here, and then from up there you can see the entire level. That's a nice touch. Well, in that cutscene, basically, there is no chemistry between the characters. There is no flow to the they don't bounce off each other. Someone will say, you can tell they recorded their lines separately, which may sound like a dumb thing to say because obviously 99% of the time with games and movies and shows, voice actors will record their lines separately and stitch them together later. But most of the time, you can't tell they did that because the chemistry and the voice direction and the acting is so good. But in that cutscene, it was just like line stop, and there's no flow. It's a bunch of fragmented chunks of dialogue stitched together, very, very sloppily. And then one of the lines is, I'm getting in touch with the old deja vu, and I almost cringed myself out the window. So, and also there's no animation. Like they don't emote, they don't express themselves. They just kind of stand around with blank faces, chatting about. It's kind of dumb. So yeah, I'll keep checking the LP as we go through the game to see how things compare. Because ordinarily what you do is you play this game first and then you play the remake. But I already have a series for the remake, and I don't feel particularly... well, I guess it might be interesting to revisit. I might revisit it on a stream one day, just because it's been so long since I've played it. But as for Let's say probably not. But of course I'm doing this in the reverse order, where I already played the remake in 2017, and now we're playing this game here in 2023. Anyway, let's go to Kerwan. I decided to go to Kerwan, even though this is the optional, not plot relevant planet to go to. We're gonna go to Kerwan next because I want to keep it consistent with the order in which I went to these planets in my original LP. So let's go to planet Kerwan. Here we go. Also, I'm guessing that these tiny planets flying through space screens are supposed to act as loading screens, which aren't entirely necessary on the PS5 because obviously the load time is near instantaneous, but it's cool. It's better than just having a straight up loading screen like in the remake, where it's just a bland screenshot of whatever planet you're about to stumble into. Also, I'm kind of happy that we just are getting right into the action, because one thing, I guess I didn't hate the combat from the aerial space combat from the remake, but I certainly remember not enjoying it nearly as much as the standard combat, the standard third-person shooter combat. So yeah, I can't say I can't say I was looking forward to redoing that here today, but it looks like we're gonna get lucky in that it's not going to be necessary. It's not something that you have to do. Also, there doesn't... in Novalis, maybe not so much, because Novalis it was pretty linear sort of tutorial area. But there's multiple paths I can take here. So far and I don't know how this compares, because I believe the level design is pretty much unchanged, or at least I thought that the level design was pretty much unchanged between the original and the remake of this game. But I didn't remember the levels having that many altering... I mean, obviously there were side paths you could take and optional things to hunt down. But as far as just kind of setting you free into an area which seems like you can go pretty much anywhere you want, and you can have a choice as to the route in which you take to attack things, that doesn't ring a bell. Anyway, okay, this is gonna be awkward. I tried to throw the wrench at him and that wasn't working out for me. And I doubt where's my flamethrower? How do I pull out the flamethrower? Okay, pull this out and then... oh, I have the bomb glove. Hold on, wait. I can do this to throw it at... where's Floaty Boy? Where's Floaty Boy? Floaty Boy's right there. How do I throw? How do I... wait. How do I actually use this? What's the... Square it. Oh my god. Okay, how do I use the bomb glove exactly? Oh, I'm dead. What are the controls for this game exactly? I was pushing R2 like I logically assumed would be the throw/shoot button, but that appears to have not been the case. Help, maybe? Oh, here we go. Controls, okay. Circle? Why is it circle? Why is it circle? Okay, we found our first problem. We found my first problem with this game. The fire weapon button is bound to circle, and not R2. Okay, that's... I mean, I'll get used to that, but still, that is bizarre. Oh, by the way, it may very well be the case that circle is a button you can use to fire your weapons in the remake. In fact, the more I think about it, I'm almost certain that it is an option that you can use, probably for people who are used to the original control scheme. But you know what else the remake has? The ability to use the R2 to fire your weapon. That is a thing that you can do. So, the option is there. I find this very, very jarring. Okay, throw. No. Ugh. I also don't like this. Okay, I guess first-person targeting isn't actually all that useful, because I was looking up and it wasn't adjusting the trajectory of my bombs at all. Okay, you know what? I'm just not gonna bother. I'm just gonna use this against all of you. We'll let Floaty Boy do Floaty Boy things. We will let Floaty Boy do Floaty Boy things, because I'm going into first-person targeting mode. Here, I'll show you again. So I pull out the bomb glove, go into first-person targeting mode, and looking up doesn't seem to be actually adjusting that circle on the floor. Like, I can look up to the sky, all the way up there, press circle, and it just throws as if, like, the throwing distance is the same whether I look up or down, so that's gonna get a little bit annoying, I imagine. Anyway, flamethrower, and mow you all down. I don't think I actually used, because I didn't get the processor until towards the end of the last episode, so I've been going pretty much wrench only. Oh, gee, thanks. Now you tell me. Now you tell me. That would have been useful to know a little bit earlier. Sure, she waited until now to provide me with that information. Oh, well. Anyway, okay, didn't fire for a second there. Nice, that's nice. The TNT barrel did my job for me. Almost knocked him off the edge. Oh, also the music is great. I don't remember...
That's the man we saw on the infobot. Remember? He knows Captain Quark.
Hey, you're that robot guy, right?
No, actually, I build robots. I myself am not a robot guy, per se.
Nerd.
I like him.
So, now that we've cleared that up, what can I do for you?
Well, we saw your infobot announcement. You were with Captain Quark. We're trying to find Captain Quark. We thought you could help us.
Your logic is commendable. However, I haven't seen Captain Quark since we shot that commercial. Say, do you run on standard XP18 sister boards?
Version 7.66.
Back at ya. I may be able to help you out after all. How does a helipack upgrade sound?
Upgrade?
Natch. Since he's a 766, I could have the little guy up and flying in no time. Of course, I'll just need my fee for service. Okay, this won't hurt a bit.
Hey, wait. Ratchet, am I cool now?
Yeah, you the man, Clank.
You're welcome.
It's kind of crazy how unrecognizable these two are compared to their 2016 counterparts. Because seriously, I mentioned in the last video that they didn't really have any personality in the 2016 remake. But, like, I really undersold it because holy hell.
Need your new helipack stretch jump feature to cross this gap. While you're running, crouch using the R1 button and then jump.
I mean, I think it's more intuitive to just jump and then hold X, but I guess that's not how that's gonna work. Oh well. I really undersold just how little personality the two characters have in the remake. It's like they don't even acknowledge each... They barely... I don't even know... I really don't even know if they acknowledge each other's existence outside of being like, hi, I'm Clank, this is Ratchet, over and over again. It's really bizarre, and, like, because if it's supposed to be remaking the origin story of Ratchet and Clank, and showing how they met, how they became the inseparable team that they would go on to be, but it seems more interested in giving Quark a character arc than it is Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet. I don't know. I'll save it for if I ever stream the remake. But reminding myself of the story of that game has been an annoying experience so far. But the other thing that I want to point out, and I promise I'll get back to praising the music in a second. But that cutscene showed me some things that I feel are worth pointing out. Namely, so Ratchet made fun of Clank for being a hot nerd, which I found especially interesting because I do distinctly remember there's a line in the remake where when they walk into one of those upgrade places, Ratchet says, "I've died and gone to nerd heaven." And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that by itself. Like, you're not going to hear me criticizing the character for being a nerd. That would be blatantly hypocritical. However, specifically in the context of this game, that just kind of makes Ratchet exactly the same as Clank, because they're both techie, nerdy people in that game. But the whole idea behind having a buddy comedy adventure like this is that your two main characters are diametrically opposed to each other in some way, that their personalities will bounce up, they're unique enough so that their personalities will create an interesting dynamic when they interact with each other, but also they share enough similarities so that they can get along, and that they don't feel like people that would never speak with each other. The remake somehow does neither, in that you can't believe that these would be actual friends that would ever want to spend time with each other, because they feel like business partners going on a mission, like by contractual obligation, than they do. Okay, so how do I do this? It's crouch and then jump. Okay, this let's see, where can I okay, well, I probably could have jumped up there if I had crouched on top of the box and jump, but oh well. It's gonna take me some time to get used to these controls. I'm already used to circle. I find it dumb that it's not, that crouch is R2 and circle is the weapon. That's very contrary to what I expect the controls to be, but I'll get used to that. Or I am already used to that, sort of. It's gonna take me a lot longer to get used to the crouch jumping mechanics. That's a little weird. Anyway, the remake makes it such that you both can't believe they would ever spend time together, but also makes them, like, identical in terms of their personalities. It's kind of fascinating how they've managed to pull that off, because that's really hard to do. Because it's Ratchet in this game is a much more laid-back, sort of tough going, I guess, maybe not slacker, but it's a sort of rough and tough mechanic personality type, whereas Clank is the nerdy brainiac of the group, and there's a dynamic to be had there that makes them unique. That dynamic is just gone, and it is in fact outright contradicted by the remake. Hi there. Oh, that looked like I fell. That looked like I fell off the thing. But I guess I didn't. I guess I lived. Cool. Hi there. Stop running away. Alright, let me try... Thanks. I also don't necessarily like that it goes into first-person mode when you do the zoom-in thing. In the remake and in Rift Apart, you stay in third-person mode when you zoom in like this. I don't know that I like the zoom into first-person mode thing. Alright, hi buddy. Stop running away. You little bitch. Now then, what was I going on about before? Oh yeah, the music. Oh, but first...
Greetings, Executive Chairman Drek. Dispense with the pleasantries, Lieutenant. My sources tell me you're behind schedule. You must prepare this planet to be harvested for our new world.
Yes, sir. As you can see, everything is moving along as planned.
I'm counting on you, Lieutenant. And as your former commander can tell you, I don't take disappointment well.
Yes, sir. I won't fail.
Drek is destroying yet another planet.
Yeah, but if that's the kind of help he's getting, I don't think we have anything to worry about.
You should not underestimate Chairman Drek. He is quite dangerous. We must find Captain Quark.
Look, that lieutenant doesn't seem so tough. Let's take him out ourselves.
Perhaps we can persuade the lieutenant to tell us where Drek is.
Now you're talking.
Every time I want to talk about a soundtrack, I immediately am just inundated with something else that I've been reminded about from the remake that I want to mention, which, in this particular case... Actually, no, before I even say that, so... God, there's so much I want to say, and not enough time to say any of it. Are we back where we started? We're back where we started, aren't we? We are. We're back where we started. Okay. So, I guess that was a side route, and this is where... Wait. Have I gotten turned around? We went right first time, correct? This is the other way we can go. We have gone in a... Wait. Oh, that's a... This is the training course, right?
Welcome to the Captain
Yeah, okay. I remember this in the remake.
If you're strong enough, fast enough,
I got very confused. I got really turned around there for a second.
this challenge, you will receive a reward from my head trainer. Simply make your way to the third island to complete the course. Good luck. Quark Enterprises is not responsible for sprains, broken bones, snapped tendons, bruised egos, or accidental death incurred while taking the challenge.
Excuse me, Captain, but we have more pressing issues. We urgently need your assistance.
Clank,
Yes?
do you notice anything unusual about Captain Quark?
Well, I find the fact that he has a spring where his leg should be to be quite puzzling.
And why do you think that is?
Possibly an injury incurred while battling evil?
This isn't the real Captain Quark, you numbskull. It's a robot.
Oh.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about the soundtrack. Then I saw that infobot thing back there, and I wanted to talk about a difference in the plot between games. Now I've heard this conversation, and I want to say another thing about Ratchet & Clank's dynamic in the 2016 remake. It's hard to do this. Anyway, I guess we'll say that first. So one thing I wanted to say to cap off the thing about their character dynamic and their chemistry is that not only is it just interesting to have them be so diametrically opposed to each other, but it makes sense gameplay-wise, because we haven't had any Clank sections yet. But I know that there are Clank sections in this game because it's called Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet is the action-oriented beat-em-up / shoot-em-up mechanics, or gameplay mechanics. And then Clank is the very, very slow-paced, methodical puzzle-solving sections. Which is a really nice counterbalance in both Ratchet and Clank games that I've played. But it matches their personalities here because obviously Ratchet is the tough guy, he goes around beating everybody up. Whereas Clank is much more calm-mannered and, I guess innocent would be a good word to use. So his puzzle-solving gameplay matches that personality. But in the remake, Ratchet is basically the same as Clank, so it doesn't... The whole gung-ho attitude doesn't quite fit as well. Oh, how did that... okay. Not sure how that happened. And the other thing I just remembered is that Ratchet has a line when Ratchet and Clank I'd like to climb up on that ledge if I can do that, that'd be great. Ratchet has a line when they first meet where Clank needs a ride to the Rangers, and Ratchet's like, "Oh yeah, I can take you to them. They're my friends. Yeah, my best friends, the Galactic Rangers." And when I rewatched the cutscene, I was like, "Why is this line here?" Because it seems like the intro to a good old fashioned lie reveal trope, where Ratchet tells Clank they're best friends with the Rangers, and then it is revealed ultimately that they're not actually best friends with the Rangers, and then Clank's like, "Oh my god, you lied to me? Why did you do that?" And it's like, "I just wanted to be your friend, or I just wanted to get out the planet, or whatever." But they don't do that. At no point do they actually capitalize off of that line, and it just makes you wonder why it's even there in the first place. It's really, really, really weird.
Listen up, you loudballs! That was the most pathetic display I have ever seen on that obstacle course!
What do you mean?
We finished the circuit, ma'am.
Oh yeah, but it was weak. Weak! When I was competing, I would devour courses like that for breakfast!
Bet that's not all.
If it were up to me, you would drill for the rest of the day! But somehow you managed to impress that fool Captain Quark!
Captain Quark knows about us?
He certainly does. And worst of all, he wants me to give you a prize for that ridiculous performance.
Cool, what is it?
I'm supposed to give you a swing shot, so you can sway to and fro like little insects.
All right, let's see it.
Not so fast. Today, the two of you disgraced my obstacle course, so I am going to make you pay.
But that prize is ours from the captain. That's not fair.
Too bad. Life's not fair.
Starting to wonder if I'm gonna ever run out of bolts for this stuff.
That Captain Quark uses stuff like this all the time.
Ha! Real men can swing without silly toys like that. The two of you make me sick.
Congratulations on your new Gadgetron Swing Shot. Use it on standard Versa targets like the ones nearby. If the target is out of view, use the L1 button to aim.
I guess neither of those are in range right now, so only climb up again. Climb up here and try again. So now for the plot web thing I wanted to mention earlier. Is that the... Are neither... Where am I... No, I didn't want to do that. How do I pull out the slingshot or the... Okay, here we go. Slingshots. That. Is that not locking on? Okay, no. You have to hold circle to do it. Do I need it? Can I just do... Alright, I can just do that without locking on. Cool. So, in the remake, there's the first time you see a commercial from Drek, he's like, we're making a new planet to replace the old planet that may or may not have been destroyed by my father's company. And it's like, because I knew that, the spoiler alert, the big twist of this game is that Drek polluted his old world himself, because he's being paid to make the new planet. So he basically just destroys the old one, profits from the new planet, then he destroys the new planet, and then makes another new planet to profit from that one, and then just the cycle just repeats ad nauseum forever. But that's a twist in this game. That's something I knew in advance because I played the remake, so I knew it was coming. But the game doesn't reveal that to you until the very final boss. In the remake, the very first time you get a commercial from him, it's just shoved down your throat in a not at all subtle way out of the gate, and it's so weird. Okay, so are we done on this planet? Because I feel like we've done everything. We went both directions. We got the infobot from the one guy, and then we got the slingshot from the other one. So I think we've done everything we need to do. Maybe? Yeah, okay, so we have a new... I don't recognize that planet. I'm guessing this is one of the ones that was cut. Because I don't believe this is one of the ones that was in the remake. So, and surely enough, we might just stumble across our first new level, a level I've never experienced before. And yeah, I will say the absence of a mission objective list is probably gonna make this a little more difficult for me because I'm used to having a full checklist of everything that we need to do, but I guess we'll just see. We went both ways. We went left and we went right. We got the infobot, so we got a new location, and we got the slingshot from the other location. I feel like we've done everything we can do on this planet, so I guess we'll call the video here. And then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll go to Planet Iridia, and then we'll see if we're looking at the next Skid McMarks here. Can't wait. And yeah, I guess I can finally praise the soundtrack, because I've been trying to do that all video and I kept getting interrupted, or I kept getting sidetracked by other things. Soundtrack's great. I don't remember any tracks from the remake. None at all. Not even one. Probably because it was stereotypical action movie soundtrack that's there to match the tone of the scene in the moment, but you immediately forget it as soon as it's done playing. Whereas with this game, reminder for those who don't know about my recording setup, I don't have a headset for the PS5. There's no point in me using one, because the way the PS5 and both PS4 and PS5 have worked is that you can only output the audio through either your TV or your headset. So if I use a headset while I'm recording games, I'll be able to hear it on my headset, but you guys won't be able to hear it on the recording, which isn't something I can abide by, so I just have to turn the TV volume down low enough so it doesn't get picked up on the microphone. Although I have been raising the TV volume since I did the when I recorded the Last of Us part 1 and part 2, I discovered a happy medium with the TV volume so that I can hear it, but also it doesn't get picked up on the microphone, so... The long story short, I'm actually listening to the music, and I really, really like it. Specifically this planet's track stuck out to me. I really, really like the Planet Kerwan theme. In fact, you know what? I don't particularly care if this video gets copyright claimed because I don't monetize the second channel. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pull up Planet Kerwan 2016 music, and we'll listen to it before we end the video, just for comparison's sake. Yeah, it's about what I remember it being. I mean, it's not bad music. I'm sure in the moment it sounded fine. But it's like... There's no melody is a key part of what makes music memorable. Is that you can have something to take away with you, so it's a tune that sticks with you, so that you can remember it fondly. Whereas there's no memorable melody to be found with what I've just listened to from the 2016 remake. It's just busy action music to keep you occupied in the moment. Anyway, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time, and hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more Ratchet and Clank. Goodbye.